everyone, and welcome back to Friends of the Show. I'm Kehm, and I'm here with my best friend Austin, and today we're going to go over the Real Housewives of Atlanta and the Real Housewives of Rhode Island with you.
Atlanta is season 17, episode 7, Dynasty, Diamonds, and Drama.
And it did not lack.
No, they really nailed the drama part.
And the diamonds.
Yeah, they looked good. I have a note that's like, I love all the Dynasty looks. So at the top, it picks up with Porsha and Kelly still fighting.
Still fighting over who wants to scissor and who does not.
And Porsha said Kelly saw her platinum puss and said to somebody else, I want some of that.
I don't blame her if she did.
I was dying laughing. And then they just kind of spar for a moment until Phaedra stops them and changes the subject to sex toys real quick.
Yeah, the fight was over as quickly as it began.
Yeah. And even Kehm was like, oh, that's how y'all do it?
This is how it goes down.
Uh-huh. You were just fighting. Now we're just sitting here like, laughing, having a good time.
That's how it is, Kehm. This is not where the fight drags on until it's come to fists.
Ooh, Kehm's going to learn that lesson. Now the fans are turning on her.
I kind of am too.
I am a little bit.
I'm a little bit nervous to say that because I love you so much, Kehm, but you're not really participating.
Right. You're tweeting more than you're housewiving.
Porsha and Kelly's fight, it opens up to breakfast and they go to dinner right after the fight.
Oh, they're on their way to dinner.
They're on their way to dinner.
Pinky gets sick from
Pinky
Cynthia's
gets
tequila.
karma.
She said it was the tequila. I was like, you probably had some bad veggies.
I think she just gets her karma served for all that stuff she kicked up for no reason. I think that Cynthia overserved her on purpose.
Cynthia said this shit's strong, give her a double.
But while we're at dinner, Porsha decides that she's going to make sure the oysters are clean, and that turns into Kehm with a side eye because she's unsure of what maybe the implications are of these clean oysters.
She knew immediately what was going on.
She assumed.
You're right.
Porsha is bringing up these cleaning of these oysters due to a defamation suit that she pursued years ago against her ex, saying that her punani stinks of fish.
Whoops. Yeah, I don't know what Porsha's intent was. I don't know if it was that shady.
At first, I didn't think there was any intent behind it. I thought she was just Porsha being a weirdo. But when you look at Drew's face...
She was kind of nodding no.
She was like, are we going there?
Yeah, her eyes were shocked, but she was acting like, yeah, we're having fun.
And then the other girls erupt into laughter. So it does look a little shady.
Mm-hmm. And we love you, Porsha, but not looking great on that end.
And it wouldn't be the first time you kicked up some dirty rumors.
She's done it all season. She's done it every season.
I do feel, though, that Kay comes off a little paranoid, and then it seems as though she isn't maybe...
At this moment, she's saying she's trying to be holy, and she reveals to everyone she is holding back, and she doesn't feel she's in a safe space.
And she also confronts Drew over Black.
Yeah.
And I guess that's where I'm coming in, as she's coming across paranoid, because it ties kind of into this, because Drew only brings up Black to her one time.
Yeah.
And now it's coming off that she's paranoid that somebody's saying that she's going around talking to a man, even though she's married.
Well, and we've seen the screenshots now.
We've seen the screenshot. That's definitely one-sided.
Yeah, like she wasn't lying, but like you knew who he was.
You knew who he was. He's not your friend, but you knew who he was.
And that's kind of all Drew was saying, was like, oh, you know each other. You said good to see him, so I assumed you knew each other.
Yeah, if you say good to see you, I assume you know each other.
You don't meet somebody and like, oh, even though we just met.
Even though I've only received DMs from you. Received.
Yeah. Good for her for having those receipts of no...
knowing who's DMing her, because I would have no idea this man on FaceTime was the same person in my DMs.
She was looking. She definitely saw it.
She had to have seen something.
Because she was hearting some of the messages, but that's just courteous, I feel.
That is courteous.
If you don't respond.
But you don't have to heart things when you're famous.
No. I imagine a lot of people reply to her stories and things.
I know I have.
Because I didn't get a heart.
I didn't get no heart.
Is a holiday coming up?
Oh, I wish. Because
I'm glad you knew what I was saying.
The morning after this dinner, because nothing really gets resolved at dinner.
No.
All the ladies show up fresh-faced, including Kay, who's puffy-faced from crying.
Her eyes were closed.
Basically.
I was like, why is she so sad?
And then Angela is doing the perfect housewife of the year.
She deserves an award at BravoCon.
She says, Kay, last night at dinner, you said you didn't feel safe. Do you still feel that way?
And with who? Why don't you feel safe? Because of who?
So she instantly just knows Kay's not going to talk about it, and she's willing to go there right away, drag it out of her.
She was completely right, too. They all knew, like, we ain't going to get anywhere, so let's just see what happens.
And let's not let a bitch sit around and pout.
No, Kay.
Because nobody wants a pouty girl on a girl's trip.
You are from Love and Hip Hop. You should be coming in here showing them all how to make good reality TV. Even though they're icons in their own right. Come on, Kay, you carried that show. So her acting like this is shocking. I'm like, did you know what you signed up to do?
It's very concerning to me that it seems as though she's decided that she was a fan of the show to join the show.
Right.
Because she's not interacting with the women. She's having these cameos in her confessionals where she's giving them reads, but she's not actually reading them in person.
At all. Except for calling Porsha a bimbo, which she's still doing.
Which is a good insult. But during this not feeling safe, she starts crying, and then she's coming across paranoid even more because she starts being like, I know one of you said something and is doing things to bring this back to light, and it shows your true character. And again, you have to assume that somebody's not telling the truth about
something. And from the way it's playing out,
you're getting that big of a reaction out of you.
True. And my favorite part is that Porsha's the one like, baby, you gotta tell us what's wrong. Because if I gotta handle it, I'll handle it for you. And
Which I thought was a sweet thing to say.
It was sweet, but then it was a very who said that moment, because then it was like, okay, Porsha.
But that's only if
it's true.
Porsha did what she did on purpose.
Right. Also, if you're sitting there eating oysters, people are going to maybe joke about like smelly fish.
I would assume so, and always relating it back to the female anatomy.
That's what it's a group of girlfriends. Like it could very well be innocent. And then like Porsha's comment, that is, but then Drew.
I just want to play devil's advocate because of how big of a reaction Kay had.
Yeah. No, we got to see both sides. I could see it being true, and I can also see Porsha being a dumbass and making a comment she's not realizing is directly in line with what they were just talking about.
Just like how she asked about where the train went.
And it's not electric.
She was dead serious, and she's been raised her whole life about the history.
And Cynthia said, your grandfather, Hosea Williams, just rolled over in his grave.
Yes.
So Porsha can be an airhead. But Drew looked guilty, though.
Drew made her look guilty.
Mm-hmm. And herself. Like she had maybe been the one to bring it back to the group.
She had a little shady grin on her face.
Mm-hmm. While also nodding like, no, don't do it. Drew, come on. Can I just jump ahead real quick? Speaking of Drew, shout out to Kehm Michelle during their fight, because she said, nobody wants to hear about that basement anymore.
She's not wrong.
No, she's not. You know what, though? I was mad at Kay for like some of the episode, but during those fights.
During the fights, Kay Michelle didn't show up. Kimberly did.
Mm-hmm. Her good old.
Her good old razzle dazzle.
Oh, this bitch is shaking the table. That's the kind of energy we got.
We did. She went at Drew so hard.
Drew.
She said, oh, we're standing up.
She said, scooch up then. Scooch up. I was like, I love that.
I was like, we haven't seen this on Housewives in forever.
No. We got 2 episodes in one night where a physical fight was
brought to the table with no domestic violence or like any kind of warning after. I love it. I'm so proud.
We're in the good old
We're
fashioned.
getting back to our old selves, everyone.
When the days of Tamara throwing wine in people's face.
The days when you didn't have to put a warning on everything.
So what I really loved, though, let me tell you, was Shamea's faces. But then those faces got her in trouble in the same episode.
Shamea's faces are always Shamea's faces. She cannot hold her face.
No, and I relate, and I also was kind of on her side when she's like, of all the stuff going on, y'all are going to come at me about my faces.
They were all just going at each other at one point and they didn't know why. And it's all because Kehm Michelle was being so cryptic about why she was crying.
She got them turning on each other.
She had it over
nothing. They didn't know.
They didn't know. Even Angela was like, this is too much for me.
I was confused and I was getting mad. Like, if we don't know in this episode what happened, I'm going to be mad.
I had to double back to understand what was going on.
And then they waited like 20 minutes for Kay to finally say what she was mad about to Shamea and Kelly when they were all separate, like by the pool. I'm like, y'all run to that side of the pool.
We've already had 2 confrontations about it, and then you finally tell us.
Also, Porsha and Kelly do squash some of their beef this episode, so that was good. Good housewiving. Just put it aside.
Phaedra showed up a little bit this episode because she was the only one that whenever Kay was crying knew to go check Twitter.
I was clapping.
I love that. And then right after, she just doesn't say anything. So that's fun.
Yeah, Phaedra, what is going on?
And then Cynthia iced out the ladies. She got all these diamonds and stuff from this jeweler friend of hers. And I thought it was so funny. They had all these diamonds dripping from them and they had to have an security escort to their event because of how much money was on them. But half of them are filed bankruptcy or going through some kind of tumultuous financial situation. And I'm just like, this is hilarious.
I did live. And I love that all the women who were single were flirting with the jeweler.
And he was not cute. They literally were doing it because of what he does for work.
Yes, and I respected it. They said, oh, he must have some money. So before they do the jeweler thing, though, that's when Drew and Kay actually get into it.
Yes.
Ooh, that was so good.
So good.
So it starts with Drew asking Kay what's bothering her. It was about Black, like we mentioned earlier. Drew starts going on about like, I don't have it in me right now to make a man happy. And Shamea under her breath said, take 5 minutes to make a man happy.
She's not wrong.
I love Shamea. It goes from Kay to Drew to Angela versus Shamea.
Yes, everyone going at each other. And I gotta say, Angela, this episode, I just noticed how emotionally aware she is of the situations.
She's a pro.
And that's how she's able to get in these situations and get out of them clean.
With the fans on her side.
Yes.
That's not easy to do.
She's becoming the new bone collector.
Never get rid of Angela, please, because I love her.
Could you imagine her and Sheree on the same show?
And Nene?
Ooh.
That's the show I would like to see.
That would be a good one.
Oh, yeah. Porsha wore her reunion dress to her Dynasty party. She looked cute.
I was like, did you have to get that altered? Because you were big when you were pregnant.
And you are hourglass now. So
it don't make no sense if it fits.
Because it was tight. So they have a little fashion show. Who did the best Dynasty look? And Cynthia tried to pull the catty heron and said, everyone gets a little bit of the crown. And then that's when Drew shows up when they're all on their way out the damn door. Do we go anywhere from there after that? Or is that where it ends?
That's pretty much where we end with that episode.
And it seems like the fighting ain't done, though.
No, the fighting's only getting heated up because next week it seems as though we're going to get Porsha and Kelly.
Porsha looked activated as hell. And speaking of, let's touch on some social media.
Some activation.
So K. Michelle's doing what she does and tweeting. And she said, don't sit in my face and play like you don't what I'm talking about. And play like you don't what I'm talking about.
She had a little typo. She's mad.
I've been there.
Big mad.
You want a reaction, you can have it. Say it to my face or be a quiet coward. Ooh. And Porsha Williams responded, who is a coward? I would define a coward as a person tweeting from the same house 2 doors down from me. Next time, let's do our job and bring it to my front door real time. That's how it's done in Real Housewives of Atlanta.
I absolutely love that Porsha found her Twitter login just so she could quote tweet K. Michelle. She didn't just tweet it. She quote tweeted K. Michelle.
Oh, she had that in there.
And then her and Kay go back and forth for a little bit and it's pretty hilarious. So if you haven't gotten on social media, get on Twitter. That's where all the K. Michelle drama's at.
I didn't see the follow-ups.
Oh, let me go find them real fast.
That makes me so happy.
So Porsha, eventually, I know she goes on to say, bitch is shaking the table. Twitter fingers activated.
Porsha.
So Porsha's pulling love and hip hop quotes.
Porsha isn't coming to play.
No.
She's valid, though. You won't say any of this when you're with Porsha. You could say it on Twitter, Kay.
And Porsha brought you onto the show. You really think she's going to play about bringing storyline against you like that? That would be so weird.
Porsha don't give a damn. She will sell anybody out.
That's true.
So the fact that people still don't know that, that's on them. Y'all don't remember what happened to Candy? Porsha, you were involved.
Porsha, you're so lucky you didn't get sued for all that. No. You and Phaedra.
You're very lucky there's a clause in your contract where you can't sue each other.
Oh, that's what stopped it.
Mm-hmm. Phaedra's especially lucky.
And Phaedra, you're a lawyer. Know better. Do better.
Is that it for the episode 7 of Atlanta?
Yeah, I think we've covered episode 7.
Good episode, ladies. So let's move on to Real Housewives of Rhode Island. Season 1, episode 8, Splitting Hairs.
This episode starts off with
Liz walks her cat.
Yes.
That was the first thing I saw. Then we see Alicia go for a drive with her husband because he's trying to encourage her to drive again.
Which I thought was cute.
Yeah, it was like she was in driver's ed.
Her driving essentials are my driving essentials. A snack, a good playlist. My everything has to be perfect or I'm going to be a little bit anxious on the road.
She blows through 2 stop signs back to back. It's just like... She's basically like, that's not my fault. Why they put them that close together? And then she drives across the bridge and she's like, oh, that wasn't that bad. They changed it.
There's no way they changed that bridge because that wasn't even a bridge. That was like a medium overpass.
Is that what she was so scared of? That? I thought she meant the bridge connecting.
I thought she meant the real bridge, the big one.
I think you're right. It was the overpass.
It was like the overpass.
And then Alicia updates her husband that we got some drama with Rulla and Brian.
Which
to tell them.
I can't believe she told him already. Especially with, if you fast forward a little bit, it doesn't really participate with much of the episodes, so we can. Her and her husband, Alicia and Billy, go and have dinner with Rulla and Brian.
Was that not one of the craziest scenes you've ever seen in Housewives? There was so much subtext going on.
Yes.
If people didn't pick up on it, since we're there, let's just talk about it because we can circle back to anything if we miss it. But that dinner, first of all, the first thing Brian said was, when we were dating, I used to order her double drinks and I would get singles so I could get her drunk.
Yes.
Which, that's a crazy statement to make in this day and age.
It's disgusting that you would, like, to be able to get your wife, you had to...
Date R word?
Yes.
Basically, that's kind of what it is.
And during the dinner, he also exposes himself for microdosing Ozempic and testosterone. Yeah. And basically, Botox.
And Botox.
He's telling Rulla everything she needs to know. I'm trying to look better.
Thank you. And Alicia, God bless her, just sat there like, that's incredible information. She didn't know what to do with herself.
Because she felt so awkward because they don't bring it up.
No.
And that's why I'm so shocked she told her husband, because now both of them have to sit there quiet through this dinner, knowing this awkward situation.
And then Mr. Brian, I don't know their last name, but Dr. Brian gets a text. He says, I'm going to go to the bathroom. Then when he comes back, I don't remember exactly. I didn't write it down because my jaw was on the ground. He comes back and was like, oh, I had to take a call. But when he left the table, he was going to the bathroom.
You know, he's a doctor, so he could have that excuse.
True, but you're a foot doctor.
He's a foot doctor.
Just didn't play it. Don't mince words, basically. He's making himself look worse and worse every time he opens his damn mouth.
Well, I'm still on the theory that he's not even trying to hide his affair. He wants Rulla to leave him.
I believe that, actually.
I think he's...
Who proposed that? Who was that? Who brought that up?
Me.
One of the RHORI girls said it, too.
Oh, yes.
You said me. I just said it. I can't remember who, though.
I don't remember whom.
But I agree. I do now believe that's it. He's not hiding anything.
He's not hiding.
And they saw the video.
Time-stamped. And even Alicia's poor husband was like, but how do you know it could be fake? Because he don't want to be no part of this.
You could tell he was like, Christ almighty, keep me out of this one. I'll talk to you about crackers and driving over bridges, but keep me away from that.
Keep me out of this girl shit.
And I don't blame him.
Not a bit. And then their dinner just kind of concludes like that. They don't have any resolve to the situation, which, again, it's an awkward one. So are you at dinner as a couple going to bring it to the next couple? Mm-hmm. Oh, by the way, we know you got caught cheating, but we saw a video.
Again.
And it was from last week.
And you can tell by the way Rulla's acting. She knows.
She's very aware.
She's watching him like a hawk in the house.
She's saying, what am I supposed to do, basically?
Like, I feel bad, but at a certain point. I'm also stubborn enough, though, this might be the case where she's like, he wants me to leave, I'm not going nowhere. But if you don't be with someone who doesn't want to be with you.
I think it's a cultural thing.
Yeah, because she already is ashamed of one divorce.
Yeah. And now she's got kids.
Girl, you live in Rhode Island. No one in this country will judge you.
It's so small.
They're going to, well... Rhode Island's definitely going to judge you, but probably for different reasons.
Especially after watching all of this.
Exactly. It was quite oh my God. I forgot Ashley was in this episode. Mm-hmm. She was in one scene.
Her son is doing better, and she's not crying for once. She's smiling.
She was in a great mood that day. She said, go in the basement. I got work.
And then it was over. I will say, I don't like the brief moment that she did appear. She's demasculating her husband, which seems to be a trend with these housewives. We have it with Amanda Francis. Now we're seeing it with Ashley. And I don't know if it's even just like a younger woman thing, which makes me kind of sad because we shouldn't be doing that, ladies.
We should be getting better than the generations before us.
We should just try to, like, if we're about equality, make it an equal playing ground. Just don't try to be like, I'm better than you. He's better than me.
And why does it matter?
Why does it matter?
If he can make more on Instagram, let him do his coffee shop.
Yeah, she demasculates him, saying that he could make more doing Instagram ads than doing his coffee shop, which is his passion project. So not only are you demasculating him for monetary reasons, you're demasculating his passion project.
You can see how much blood, sweat, and tears this man's putting into this coffee shop. Every scene they film, he's like, we got to go to Audrey's after this.
And he's like, the ice machine's broken again.
Again. Even we know Audrey's got a problem with the ice.
Yes.
So I feel bad for him in that way too, of like, maybe he's not making 6 or 7 figures on Instagram, but if he's running a business that's staying afloat, you be proud of him for that.
And some people morally are not proud of themselves for just selling ads.
And I don't blame him on that, if that's the case. He wants to go out and do actual hard work.
He wants to earn his money in a proper fashion.
But I respect people. He was on reality TV. He could very well just be doing ads now, but he wants to just have a little business.
And I think that it's cute because he's setting it up. He's setting his family up to have something for the future. His kids could take it over. Something. They don't have to, but...
Good to see you, Ashley.
We also have Rosie and her husband in the beginning. And Rosie is spilling the tea to her man about the Rulla situation. But
and Kelsey.
She's also telling him about Kelsey. And I gotta say that I am now kind of a little bit team Rosie. As it is coming across as jealousy from Kelsey and like insecurity about her own life on why she doesn't like Rosie.
What else could it be?
And I think it's just because they're similar in age.
Yeah.
I really think that's the only reason.
I think so too. They're the only, like, other than Ashley, these two can fight like that. They feel like they're disrespecting their elders if they do that with the other women. And
after Rosie kind of spills the tea to her husband, it cuts to Kelsey and her family at her new place, where Kelsey's family makes her feel like crap for having a smaller place and also having some of her bills taken care of from her ex still, which I am now sad for Kelsey because her family doesn't like her.
I agree with you. I was watching it like, so you're not happy if she stays, you're not being happy if she went and moved into an apartment and is getting it paid for. And she was totally right that I put in 10 years. What's wrong with having some help?
It's like a little settlement.
Yeah, I mean, if you are married, even if you don't have kids, you're married for 10 years in a wealthy marriage. You don't get to just kick your wife to the curb if there's no prenup.
No.
And be like, okay, go live in a shack. That woman can be entitled to be like, this is the life I've been accustomed to, so now you owe me a little something.
And she's just...
And he offered.
Getting hers. I don't blame her. I would do the same thing.
100.
Especially if I don't know how to pay my own bills and I haven't had to adult my whole life because you got me when I was 19 years old. Like, that's pretty sick, but...
and how old is he? Older. We know that.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Because I believe I heard he was married before Kelsey with kids.
He's got to be minimum
50?
50s because she's 30s.
Ugh.
And if it's that significant of an age gap, I feel like people That's when people are like,
gotta be 20 years
making
these jokes. I agree with you that I am a little bit more Team Rosie on this fight, though, because what else is it, Kelsey? You've given your reasons, but it's not enough to be so hostile.
And when we see your situation in your apartment, it becomes obvious because you are only talking about how you don't know how to do anything for yourself and how now at this age you're having to learn how to do everything. So by admitting it, it just rubs off as jealousy when you're getting into altercations constantly with somebody who's not really doing anything to you.
Agreed. And you can see where that insecurity would be bred with how her family was acting. So why aren't you just moving into Bill's house?
They put a lot of her worth into a man.
So no wonder she does too.
And she's a pageant girl. She's probably put a lot of worth into her looks. She's probably got a lot of worth into just a lot of vain things.
Yeah, the aesthetic of a wealthy life. But I see her side in that I'm like, give her money. Let her get her rent paid.
Yeah, she was young.
She didn't even have to do nothing for it. He just said, I'll pay it for now. That's what she kept saying, for now. So we got it.
Better be for now. She's with another guy.
You gonna go move
I think that's a little crazy that he's paying for things and she's knowingly in a relationship. I think that's wild.
Doesn't seem to bother Bill that we know about.
But does it bother the sugar daddy? Because it would bother me as a sugar daddy.
Well, I wonder if that has something to do with the end of the relationship.
Well, it has everything to do with the end of the relationship, but I don't think that he would continue to pay for things like securely if my girl was already moved on. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not in that situation, so
if you're really wealthy, maybe.
He must really love her.
And the guy comes
like
from
Porsha,
TV
she got
money.
that good
Platinum puss. As Porsha called it this
yes.
week. Oh, and then we see Joellen with her mom.
And I could have cried.
It was very enlightening just to who Joellen is as a person.
And Joellen's not afraid to admit that. And that's what's sad. She knows she identifies so well with negative traits because of how her childhood was. She's gone to a lot of therapy, like she said. You can tell.
And I love to be like, but despite all of that, I still have a little part of me that can't accept what you did to me. And I was like, valid.
And she has every right because her mom was talking crazy on that stoop. She literally was like, why would you do that to me?
She literally thought she was joking at first.
I think her mom just wants to save face for the camera.
Yeah.
And not come off as some villain. I think a lot of the moms on these shows do.
Because even Joellen's sister was nodding her head in agreement with what Joellen was saying.
Yes, because she sent her sister off to those places as well.
And let me tell you something. I thought, okay, maybe her mom does see the error of her ways.
I briefly thought that.
And then something happened on social media.
Oh, tell me.
I heard this on Two Teas in a Pod.
Oh, yes.
Shout out, not just that, but shout out Tamara and Teddy and Dolores was on this episode. They were talking about Joellen's mom went on Instagram and replied to someone being like, poor Joellen. Her mom was like, oh, well, interesting how Joellen's mother and father were the ones who chose to send her away, but only her mother gets to blame. Well, her dad's dead, so she ain't gonna blame the dead one.
And usually one parent has more say than the other. And it's usually the mom.
And was going on about like she was hanging around with the wrong people and the wrong crowds. And someone was like, how do you know this? Are you related to her? And she responded, oh, I'm her mom. Girl, don't double down on that.
Yeah, you don't look good. Not when those places are filled with
pedos,
child pedos even. It doesn't even have to be staff.
True. And I'm sorry, what does hanging out with the wrong crowd mean? To me, I'm a white person. I'm just saying, if I'm watching that analytically and critically, I'm going,
what do you mean?
What do you mean by that? Is it a skin color thing?
It could have been.
Because there's plenty of white people who would say those exact words if their kid was doing that. And so I was like,
Yeah, it doesn't look good.
So, you know what, Joellen? I'm on your side on that one. Let your mama know.
I like that you told her you made me a bitch.
It's your fault.
Yeah.
And she tried to pull up, well, my mom was like that with me.
And she said, okay, but why am I not like that with my own children?
I loved how she was like, well, when I look at my kids, I could never treat them like that.
No.
So I wish you had done that for me.
And stop making me pay you to watch them.
And complaining about it. Like, oh, I guess I'll be a grandmother.
Right. You clearly don't want to have a family, so why did you have one?
Then we just kind of go right into Rosie and Kelsey, don't we?
They touch on Liz and Dolores developing a menopause gummy. That's about it.
And I was listening, speaking of that interview with Dolores on 2Ts, Tamara asked her, is it THC? Dolores was like, no.
That was my question because I was like, how does THC help with menopause symptoms?
Is it CBD? I'm not quite sure what
I think it's just going to be some vitamin concoction, I would assume.
I mean, they sell stuff like that at dispensaries.
They already sell stuff like that in the pharmacies and stuff.
So no reason a dispo couldn't do it.
Necessarily works from what I hear, but... And then it serves up Kelsey arriving to Rosie's house with a police siren and a loudspeaker on her car.
She said... Attention, it's the house police. The house police are here.
Searching for 8,000 square feet.
More like 8,000 inches.
Which was a touch funny, but I also saw Rose, like, it's not that funny.
I would actually be on Rosie. Like, I'm totally with her. If you roll up at my house, we don't have a noise ordinance till like 11 p.m. But if you did that in my neighborhood, I would be mad. I wouldn't want a neighbor doing that while I'm home and minding my business. So I wouldn't want to do that to my neighbors. So I see Rosie. Mm-hmm. Rosie's inside like, what is that?
But Rosie also has the blueprints for her home laid out.
She sure
did. For Kelsey to be able to measure.
She had the proper like square footage measuring tape.
I've never seen one of those measuring tapes in my life.
I've seen them on like HGTV.
They act like they're going to actually measure this.
I was like, you're going to make Kelsey go hold a corner and you're going to pull it?
Like she knows how to measure.
And be like, oh, it says 8,000.
She doesn't even know how to do her laundry.
She's learning to pay her bills at 32.
You think she knows how to measure on a blueprint? It's kind of... in my opinion, a little shisty to have the blueprint ready to go. Like, you're ready for drama, but then you say you're not.
Because then you were quick to throw her out that house.
Because the second that she even clapped at you for a moment about the blueprint.
Get out of my house.
Yes. You turned into a violent rage, which you were entitled to.
It was your house. You can do that. You didn't hurt her.
You didn't hurt her. And she wasn't listening to you.
I was living for Rosie. She said, all right, I'll grab your bag, Kelsey. Let me grab your little supply kit. I'll take it down the stairs and throw it out the front door.
And she read her for filth before that, saying that sucking dick is not a career. That she called her a bitch. She called her out of her name first.
And one of the best Bravo insults we'll ever get came out of this episode.
She calls her a slam pig, which I don't know if you've watched the after show. They defined slam pig for us.
What did they say?
So it's a New England term that's defined as an ugly, fat, slutty bitch, basically.
I kind of assumed slut in there.
Yeah, it's great.
But fat
and ugly is in the definition if you go on Urban Dictionary.
Kelsey ain't either of those.
No.
So that makes it even better.
But I'm pretty sure I heard Rosie call her fat during the screaming match.
I have to rewatch that.
Yeah, it's as she's going out of the door when she's finally leaving. Rosie turns around real quick and she's like, you fat something. And it like cuts her off.
She probably cussed.
She probably like stops herself because she realizes she's calling her fat something and you're not supposed to call people fat anymore.
She's also like, we're the same size. So
yeah. She's like, I'm the one on Ozempic.
Yeah.
What I thought was so crazy about this fight was how quickly it escalates to hands.
Quick.
Because
after a few words,
Rosie just kind of gets in Kelsey's face a little bit and Kelsey has none of it and takes her arm and pushes her back.
Which she's valid for. Don't get in my face even if I'm in your house.
Yeah, but she wasn't as far in her face as I've seen other housewives be.
True, but some people have different boundaries with their personal bubble.
I think it just goes to show you how naive Kelsey is because she doesn't think of any kind of repercussions. She literally is saying, you don't know who you're talking to. You don't know who you're talking to. Like, yes, we know exactly who we're talking to. A homeless girl.
Yeah, you will be homeless, by the way, Kelsey, if you can't pay that rent.
If you can't pay that rent.
Once he's done with it.
You'll be living with Bill. And you'll be like Alicia saying, you're homeless.
And Liz is going to get mad at you.
Yes.
We didn't get a lot of Liz in this episode.
No.
Oh, but when we did, she pulled her feet out and she said they looked like a bag of dicks.
They did.
I gotta say, I love when Rosie's throwing Kelsey out. You can see the producers are immediately worried because they start stepping in.
And they don't usually step in. No. Even when Porsha grabbed Kenya, it took him a while to get there.
Carlos King had to throw himself at Porsha and tackle them both to the ground.
Yes.
But it took him a minute.
But here's where producers made a mistake. They opened the door and let Kelsey back in.
They did.
Why did they do that?
To get more footage.
Like,
I don't know if they were going to follow.
Don't break the fourth wall that much.
Because I'm like, were you going to follow?
It's not your house. You shouldn't be letting them in.
Yeah, even if you're going to go out.
Which it didn't look like he was going out.
No, y'all stood in the same spot.
Back. And like
they wanted the rest of that scene.
And I don't like that, Bravo.
I noticed that too. I was like, wait, the door's open now.
It makes the fight less genuine.
There's a lot of moments going on recently, Bravo, that people say the producing of it all. Produced. Not a good look when you're saying it's real reality.
And your editing has gotten worse over the years, just saying.
Especially when the van that picked up Erica and Kyle was the same production van. People
you can match the license plate.
The license plate's matched. So you could say it's a crew van all you want, but why was that the van that had to pick Kyle and Erica up then? Mm-hmm. And you made them wait 30 minutes? On Rhode Island, thanks to the Tamara judge. She said, hi, Andy, submitting a question from Tamara from OC.
Yes, because they're filming the reunion.
They must be doing it like this week, and I cannot wait. That's sad, though. That means we only have like a month left before the show's over.
I know. But Tamara, what did she say?
Tamara judge said, so is it true Kelsey filmed all those scenes at her boyfriend's house, quote unquote, but it was really her mother's house and they've been broken up for 2 years?
Ooh, was it her mother's house they were filming at and not the boyfriend's house?
So that's what Tamara sent in, and then I saw a clip of Rosie doing an interview, and the interviewer asked her that. It wasn't for the show, it was like a podcast.
I didn't know if it was the mom's house. I thought somehow he was still letting her film at his house.
They've been saying it's her mom's house.
That's crazy because your mom's got a nice house too.
Big ass house.
Where's your money, Kelsey?
Why isn't your mom paying you bills if she's that rich?
Yeah.
And the interviewer asks Rosie, so have you heard that Kelsey and the sugar daddy broke up 2 years ago and all this was filmed at her mom's house? And Rosie just kind of went nodding yes. So I was like, ooh.
That's not good.
More producing.
I don't like that.
No, we need to get back to the genuine. I know it's always produced. There's producers working on the show.
Don't MTV Cribs me.
No, exactly. You need to let everything be organic from the women, though.
And it has to be real. If that's not your house, you're not allowed to film in it.
And if it's not your house and the door's been shut, don't open the door back for someone who's been kicked out. That's not real. There's not a camera crew there for everybody when they get kicked out of a house.
No.
You get kicked out, you gotta go. They would
call the cops if she did that.
Right. Even though Rosie did say, I'm gonna call the cops on you. I was like...
She already brought the siren.
They're gonna think. But the cops ain't gonna do shit once they realize, girl, come on.
Yeah.
That's why she didn't do it.
My thing with this whole situation, too, is Rosie was sensitive the moment Kelsey showed up.
Yeah.
She was going to bring a fight no matter what. She was not getting her hair cut that day.
No.
There was no way. Her house was not ready for it.
I agree, especially when you point out the blueprint thing. Like, you had that literally laid out.
Ready to go.
On the island in the kitchen with, like, the little paper holders holding it back. Like, you wanted this moment, but justifiably, I think.
Justifiably.
Shut a person down if they're going to freaking do all this. That's how I feel, so she shut her down.
If you're going to keep antagonizing me, I'm going to eventually snap.
Atlanta, we didn't get a next week on, but...
You do if you go online.
Oh, why do they do that? Y'all
I don't know,
hate me.
But Kelly is pushing a glass in Porsha's face, and Porsha's running up some stairs, screaming, I don't want to be doing this. You know, trying to calm herself down.
I hate live TV. Y'all didn't give me that. But we got one on Rhode Island.
We sure did.
And it sure seems like the fighting is going to continue.
And we might be getting a new beef between Liz and Alicia, which makes me sad.
I know. I don't want them to fall out.
No.
Y'all are lifelong friends.
And I don't think they are falling out because I think they filmed their stuff together on the after show.
Oh, you can always tell who's good based on who's paired together. That's how I figured out Beverly Hills before it ended. I was like, Amanda's by herself.
Pretty sure. Oh, no. Liz is paired with Kelsey. I'm a liar.
Oh.
So it could
Who's
be
Alicia
beef.
with?
She's with Joellen.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. I would think those are the pairings.
Yeah, and then it's Rulla, Rosie, and Ashley together.
Okay. I could see that. They said some of the scraps.
Yeah.
Well, I think that does it for another week of Housewives.
Yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for sticking around. Follow us on social media. We have a TikTok, an X, and an Instagram at Friends of the Show. Have a great week.
Goodbye.